This is a HeaterTreater video on repair of a Ford Expedition. This is also the same as a Lincoln Navigator. So I'll let you take a little bit of a look at the dash to make sure that it's similar to what you're seeing in your car. And the first thing we're going to have to do is remove this center console. So got a little mat that was covered up here, and we'll open the console. We got one screw here, one screw here, and now this center piece will snap out. We're going to pull that out of the way, and that will reveal the underpinnings of the console attachment. So let me take out a few more screws, and we'll get to the next step of removing the console. The next step is going to be complete removal of the center console. And if you look at it, you'll find there are two bolts kind of placed down inside of here, and then two that come in from the side. And you're not going to be able to see that, but if you pull the seats all the way forward, you'll see a little plastic insert covering the screws. Take those two screws out. And once you've got that, the process to remove the console is not real obvious, but you need to lift up on the front and pull back. And what it's got is actually little metal tabs that slide together, and they come apart by sliding back, and that will slide back and up, and we'll have to release the wires, but the entire console will now come out of place. Okay, now we've got the console out. Let me kind of show you how it fit. If you see on the back here, we've got the metal pieces with an insert. There's actually a little tab on the box that slides up in there. So that comes loose when we pull it back. And this is the connector that needs to pull loose. You just pull that screw, and it's got a little push spot here. You kind of have to push in and pull up, and you'll have to monkey with it a little bit, but pull that off and the entire console comes out. Our next step will be to remove this piece of plastic, and we'll start going after this vent in the center. And some of you may have noticed in the video a dollar bill. Thank you very much. Okay, with the console out, I've now come back and split the piece of carpet that runs underneath the console, so I have that in two pieces, and I can fold that back fairly easily. And now you'll see a plastic vent. This is a distribution vent that will send air to the back, and it's coming out of the bottom here. And not all models are going to have this. If yours does, we need to get this out of the way. So what I'm going to do is to come down on the side here. I will make a cut through this vent so that we can remove the entire piece. And once we do that, we'll patch it back with metal duct tape. It's not a high pressure vent. And just so you can see where we're going, we can now see the actuator motor. That's what we're eventually going to get to. Okay, so now we have cut out a portion of the center vent here, which was a distribution to the back. And our next step, we're going to remove the little bracket here. There's a couple of screws I'll show you that are holding this plastic piece in place. You can see it's fairly loose. But our goal is to get this out and then be able to access the actuator motor. Okay, we're now under the driver's side dash, looking at the distribution vent that goes under the plenum box. And you'll see this is a vacuum canister. This controls defrost. It's got two bolts in it. We're going to go ahead and pull that canister off, and then there's another screw behind it, and you'll be able to see where it's attached to the plastic piece, and we'll pull that out. So we'll pull the vacuum canister and one bolt that's kind of hidden by the vacuum canister. Okay, we've got the bolt out of the vacuum canister, and I disconnected the vacuum lines that are going into it, and that will make it fairly easy to move. And if you pull it down, I'm not sure you can see it, but there's a wire that goes up, and that actually hooks onto a door. And it's a little tricky to connect that back up, so I'm just going to kind of leave it hanging there to get it out of the way. And if you look way up in there now, you can see towards the back where this last screw is that we're going to pull out. There are no laws against just taking your Dremel tool and cutting this damn thing off. That screw is kind of hard to get to. On this one, we're going to go ahead and take the screw out and replace it. But if you want to do it quick and easy, that will stay in place even without the screw there. The screw kind of helps them when you remove the entire dash and you don't want it to fall down. But since we're not going to do that, you could do without that screw and just cut it. Your choice. Okay, I'm back. Sorry it took so long, but that back bolt is really difficult to get to, so I kind of wrestled with that. Anyway, that is out now, and there is another bolt on this side. You can see where that fits, and we've got it all loose now, and we'll just kind of wrangle this thing up and out of here. Okay. And just to show you what you've been working at, if you went to all the work of removing the bolt, that bolt is on this little pedestal that's sticking up on the back, and it's very difficult to get to. If you wanted to, you could just take your Dremel and just cut this off. That's wedged in there well enough that you don't really need this bolt, and it certainly makes it a lot easier. So now we're at the point where we can actually see the actuator motor. You can see that I've disconnected the wire and pulled that out of the harness and back up out of the way. Everything is nice and free and clear and open, and we'll begin doing the actual heater treater work. Everything we've done up to this point has just been getting access to the motor. I know it's been difficult, but blame Ford, not me.